All right, Terrace. Go ahead. Explain to us how negative attention works.
Well, I mean, if you're not, I mean, you can pay 0 attention, but you can pay, you can in theory. There's a negative to everything, right? That there's it's technically just a theory, but you could pay attention to the point where I pay even less than no attention whenever you're speaking.
So there's a negative to everything. Does that mean there's also a positive to everything?
Sure, I already don't like where you're going with this, but
All
yes.
Right. I'm gonna immediately disprove your point. Name a positive to Skytis.
I mean, you proofread my just little piles of garbage me and Egg wrote, so that sounds like a positive.
I mean, it surely wasn't positive for my brain. Are you gonna publish anytime soon? Like in a more coherent cohesive form?
Soon is kind of a relative term, and more like soon TM.
Okay, well, yeah, for those of you that don't know,
maybe this year, but probably early next year.
For those of you that don't know, Terrace is an author, TM, and he might publish TM soon, TM. And I did proofreading because there's a positive to Skytis.
Glad you're on the same page.
Yeah, we are. I mean, I'm on page 121, and you seem to be as well. So yeah, if you want,
we're off to a great start.
If you want some nice horror to read, go poke Terrace.
Just be gentle. My first time.
If you've never been poked before.
Not violently.
How does one violently poke?
Well, it's like punching, but with just a single finger.
That sounds like a great way to break your finger.
You've clearly never watched what's that fucking movie called?
Let me guess.
Big Stan.
Who?
There's a comedy movie called Big Stan. It's so stupidly convoluted. If you haven't watched it, then I can't even explain it with words.
I have absolutely no clue. I've never heard of that. So,
it's
no.
Really funny, really silly, and one of the mystical magic techniques is the punching someone with a finger very violently.
All right, I'm gonna be right back. I need some time to process this.
Wow, that's please don't leave me alone with. Well, apparently
okay,
myself, because no one else is. Oh, I'm so glad you came back. I'm gonna do what I do best and eat food because I am hungry.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason I chose the tag for this stream. By the way, I'm pretty sure, for those of you watching, you made the right choice. This right now is, I believe, I'm gonna check before I make any false claims.
It is the only Bible stream.
No, who cares? This is literally the only stream on Twitch right now, and possibly at all, that even has the tag Terrace constantly eating. Now you go ahead and you find another stream that has Terrace constantly eating.
We should spread that tag and make it like.
Well,
make it like Twitch meta.
To spread that tag, we won't need to spread you, Ubu. You just need to be the guest on a bunch of streams.
That can be arranged.
Just kind of like the face cam. You're just in the corner, top right. Just not even. You just have a stream up 24/7 on Twitch where you just eat, and then people just embed that one into their own stream, and the viewers you don't inform your viewers. You just silently do it, and then people will just keep seeing you all across Twitch for no good reason. That will work, yeah.
That will be quite hilarious, to be fair.
Yeah.
Just like imagine just some like competitive gaming stream of just my face in the corner, never saying anything, just eating sandwich after sandwich.
Okay, so would you like to come up with some kind of jingle for Joshua?
I would not.
Okay. Joshua 3. And so Joshua arose in the night God damn it. And
Try
so
again.
Joshua arose in the night and he moved the camp. We should take Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else. Like, he moved the camp. He by himself.
I guess we already have our thumbnail idea.
Note it down right now or we're gonna forget.
You don't forget.
I do. And they departed from Shittim. Shittim? But I hardly know him. And they went to the Jordan. He and all the sons of Israel, and they remained there for 3 days. After these things unfolded, announcers passed through the midst of the camp, and they began to proclaim, When you will see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your Skytis, and the priests of the stock of Levi carrying it, you also shall rise up and follow those who are going before you. I just want to point out, when I read this, announcers passed, I thought this was going to be some kind of fourth wall break for what? Just my brain works in weird ways. Who are going before you. And let there be between you and the ark the space of 2,000 times 18 inches, 457 millimeters, so that you may be able to see it from far away and to know along which way you should advance. For you have not walked this way before. And be careful that you do not approach the ark. And Joshua said to the people, Be sanctified, for tomorrow the Lord will accomplish miracles among you. And they responded, Among us?
The internet has fucking ruined everything. I swear to God. You can't have nice shit on the internet.
Will accomplish miracles among you. And he said to the priests, Take up the ark of the covenant and go before the people. And they fulfilled the orders, and they took it and walked before them. And the Lord said to Joshua, do we already have a rule?
I mean, I don't know if we do, but if we don't, we do now.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
Quick reminder for anyone that either is tuning in now or is watching this on YouTube and doesn't start from the beginning. There's certain phrases when they are mentioned you have to drink. I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to make the
no, it's not optional.
If you're underage, there's that might be a little different. But
that you should have known what you're getting yourself into before you click on it.
Yeah, but if you want to make the Bible more bearable, then you should definitely join. Where the hell was I?
In your room.
God damn it, And Joshua said to the people, blah, blah, blah. And the Lord said to Joshua, Today I will begin to exalt you in the sight of all Israel, so that they may know that just as I was with Moses, so also am I with you. What does that even mean? Like, is he saying they're bros? Is he saying they're not? Because he killed Osmosis?
Well, he did kind of follow Osmosis for quite a while.
Yeah, and then he killed him.
Maybe it was an accident.
Oh yeah, he accidentally said, "Hey, you committed these crimes against me. Go there and die because I tell you to." Now, instruct the priests who are carrying the Ark of the Covenant and say to them, When you will have entered into a part of the water of the Jordan, stand still in it. And Joshua said to the sons of Israel, Approach to here and listen to the word of the Lord your Skytis. And again, he said, By this shall you know that the Lord, the living Skytis, is in your midst, and that he shall scatter in your sight the Canaanite, the Hittite, the Hivite, the Parasite, likewise the Gigashit, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite. Question Terrace. So this is Joshua saying, blah, 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 you know that the Lord, the living Skytis. So basically, Joshua is giving him a new title. Skytus isn't giving himself the title, so that would not count, as far as I know. Because the rule was when Skytus gives himself a new title, correct?
Yeah. He's not selfishly giving himself a title. It's just Joshua going, haha,
Okay.
yes, this is information.
Behold, the ark of the covenant of the Lord of all the earth shall go before you through the Jordan. Prepare 12 men from the tribes of Israel, one from each tribe. And when the priests who are carrying the ark of the Lord, the skyters of the entire earth, will have placed the steps of their feet in the waters of the Jordan, the waters that are lower will run down and pass away, and those that are approaching above will stand together in a mass. I'm trying to follow what he's saying, and it doesn't make any sense, but we'll just pretend that it does.
Has anything in the Bible ever made sense?
Yeah, occasional sentences. And the people departed from their tents, so that they might cross the Jordan. And the priests who were carrying the ark of the covenant were advancing before them. And as soon as they entered into the Jordan, and their feet were dipped in a portion of the water, now the Jordan, since it was the time of the harvest, had filled the banks of its channel, the descending waters stood still in one place, and, swelling up like a mountain, they were seen from far away, from the city that is called Adam, even as far as the place of Zarethan. Zarethan. But those that were lower ran down into the sea of the wilderness, which is now called the Dead Sea, until they entirely passed away. Then the people advanced opposite Jericho. And the priests...
Wait. Why is there something randomly in brackets?
That's not the first one. Like, this part is, and the part up here as well. Because, just to extra lore.
That just wasn't really a thing up to this point, was it?
There have been very occasionally things in brackets, but it's very rare. Bible is basically like a loot box. You might get something in brackets, but that's super rare. That's like the equivalent of a legendary. Then
can you sell it on the Steam market for 200 quid?
No, but you can make an NFT out of your version of the Bible and sell it on the internet.
Wow.
Then the people advanced opposite Jericho. And the priests who were carrying the ark of the covenant of the Lord were standing, fully dressed, upon dry soil, in the midst of the Jordan. And all the people passed over, through the channel that was dried up. Joshua 4. And when they had crossed over, the Lord said to Joshua, choose 12 men, one from each tribe, and instruct them, so that they may take from the midst of the channel of the Jordan, where the feet of the priests stood still, 12 very hard stones, which you shall station in the place of the camp, where you will pitch your tents this night. And Joshua called 12 men, whom he had chosen from the sons of Israel, one from each tribe, and he said to them, go before the ark of the Lord your skyters into the middle of the Jordan, and let each one carry from there one stone on your shoulders, according to the number of the sons of Israel, so that it may be a sign among you. Among us?
Shut.
And let each one from there carry from there one stone on your shoulders, according to the number of the sons. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And when your sons will ask you tomorrow, saying, what do these stones mean to you? You shall respond to them, the waters of the Jordan failed before the ark of the covenant of the Lord, when the ark crossed over it. For this reason, these stones were placed as a monument for the sons of Israel, even forever. Hello, Aki.
Haha, friend.
Hey, Terrace, I have a question.
I probably have an answer.
At the very top of page 122/page 46, I even highlighted it for you.
Yes. What about it?
Look.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah. What about it?
Explain.
I just typed it. Right, literally right as you started streaming.
That's not an
Your screen,
explanation.
your screen wasn't scrolled far enough to see it.
That's not an
I'll-
explanation.
Well, the thing, I don't know what the actual proper name for it is, but you know the flashing line that shows you where you're typing. Well, that showed up, and my brain was like, "Haha, yes, type something." And then the first thing my brain thought was the word "gay," and then it appeared at the bottom of at the top of this page, not the bottom of the other page, which you actually typed it.
You seem to be very familiar with tops and bottoms.
Yes. Ooh.
Therefore, the sons of Israel did as Joshua instructed them, carrying 12 stones from the midst of the channel of the Jordan, just as the Lord had ordered him, according to the number of the sons of Israel, as far as the place where they made camp, and there they stationed them. Similarly, Joshua positioned another 12 stones in the middle of the channel of the Jordan, where the priests stood who were carrying the Ark of the Covenant. And they are there, even to the present day. What, the priests?
Yeah.
I like how you could just take it both ways. There's just priests are just standing there, even to the present day. Present day being whenever this was written, so probably about 5 quintillion years ago. Now, the priests who were carrying the ark stood in the midst of the Jordan until everything was accomplished which the Lord had instructed Joshua to speak to the people and which Moses had said to him. And the people hurried, and they passed over. And when they had all crossed, the ark of the Lord also crossed, and the priests advanced before the people. Likewise, the sons of Reuben and of Gad, and of the 1/2 tribe of Manasseh, advanced with weapons before the sons of Israel, just as Moses had instructed them. And 40,000 fighters, by companies and divisions, advanced through the plains and fields of the city of Jericho. Thank you very much for your support. In that day, the Lord magnified Joshua in the sight of all Israel, so that they would fear him, just as they had feared Moses while he lived. And he said to him, wait, who said to whom? Oh, hold. The Lord magnified Joshua. Okay, so, and he said to him, is the Lord saying to Joshua.
Oh yeah, understandable.
It's fine, Harris, take your time, we can wait.
Continue.
And he said to him, command the priests who are carrying the ark of the covenant to ascend from the Jordan. And he commanded them, saying, ascend from the Jordan. And when those who were carrying the ark of the covenant of the Lord had ascended, and they began to step on dry soil, the waters returned to their channel, and they flowed as they usually did before. So basically, this is just a super long version of saying, take some people who are carrying the ark, let them go first. They will step in the river, and then magically the water will just not be there, so the river will be dry. Then everybody can pass, and then the people with the ark will go, and then there's water again. Basically, parting the waters again, just as Mr. Osmosis did in the good old days TM.
Magic.
But this time they did it with the Jordan.
And why are they doing it now?
To cross the Jordan to go to Jericho or something? I don't know. To go to the promised land of Milf and Horny, obviously.
Why are they doing that?
Because the largest guidance will give it to them. Just like X.
Oh, right, fair enough.
Now, the people ascended from the Jordan on the 10th day of the first month, and they encamped at Gilgal, opposite the Estonian portion of the city of Jericho. Likewise, the 12 stones that they had taken up from the channel of the Jordan, Joshua stationed at Gilgal. And he said to the sons of Israel, when your sons will question their daddies tomorrow, and they will say to them, what do these stones mean to you? You shall teach them, and you shall say, Israel passed over this Jordan through the dry channel. For the Lord your God has dried up its waters in your sight until you crossed over, just as he had done before at the Red Sea, which he dried up until we crossed over. So may all the peoples of the earth learn of the very powerful hand of the Lord. So may you also fear the Lord your God for all time. By the way, I just noticed it's been a while since they bitched about Egypt. As
Don't jinx it.
now, I'm just wondering if that generation maybe just died out by now, or most of them. There's nobody remembers how fun it was back in Egypt.
You'll just get some old guy going, back in my day.
More like that old guy at the Jordan. Ah, shit. Here we go again. Joshua 5. Therefore, after all the kings of the Amorites, who were living across the Jordan towards the western region, and all the kings of Canaan, who possessed the places besides the Great Sea, had heard that the Lord had dried up the waters of the Jordan before the sons of Israel until they crossed over it, their heart was broken, and there remained in them no spirit, out of fear at the entrance of the sons of Israel. So at that time, the Lord said to Joshua,
Yeah, he did, yeah.
make for yourself knives of stone, and circumcise the sons of Israel a second time.
Oh no, not again.
Ah, shit. Here we go again. Okay, question. I'm not very familiar with the entire procedure and how it technically works. I thought circumcision was like either you're circumcised or you're not, so it's kind of like a binary thing.
Yes. Yeah, you're very correct, yes.
Okay, how do you circumcise somebody that has been circumcised? You just take the tip off?
Well,
Just the tip. Seriously, how?
Well, I guess you just cut more of the skin.
Cut my dick into pieces? This is my second circumcision. Suffocation, no penis. Don't give a fuck if I something my lord.
He shot
something.
Actually fucking cease.
He did what the Lord had commanded, and he circumcised the sons of Israel at the hill of the... What? Hold on. What?
Hold on, this will never be more relevant.
No, Terrace, you need to pay very close attention.
Okay, I'm paying very close attention.
He did what the Lord had commanded, and he circumcised the sons of Israel at the hill of the Foreskins.
I'm fucking sorry you had the what and the what now?
I would like to ask you a question. Did you?
No, I have not actually. I wish I did, because that's hilarious. However,
I was just about to say, if you had done that, I would have called you a fucking genius, because how do you come up with that? Yes. Let's name that hill after the most relevant event. Yes, the hill of the Foreskins.
So is it... Okay, I have a question.
I have many, but you're not going to get answers.
So is it a hill that's just called the Hill of Foreskins because that's where they cut the foreskins? Or is it literally just a hill formed from all the foreskins they cut in a plain field?
I don't know, but I'm surprised it took you that long to articulate that question, because that was one of the first things that crossed my mind. But it says, and he circumcised the sons of Israel at the hill. So, like, if you circumcise, let's say, like, I don't know, a few hundred people, you have a small hill, and then you could circumcise people at the hill. But the first person can literally not be circumcised at the hill of the foreskins, because there's not a hill of foreskins yet.
What if the hill of foreskins is made from the first patch?
Well, but then he didn't, then he only circumcised part of the sons. So I think it's just, maybe it's just a small hill, and he started circumcising, and now the hill is fucking covered in foreskin. And, and now it just looks like a crunchy snack.
Yeah, and then just they leave that area, and someone else just comes along, some traveler, and just goes, "What the fuck happened here?" Oh.
You know, for foreskin is like when you open a loot box and you get the lowest rarity, you just get foreskin. It's the worst type of skin. It's unluck. Well, Terrence, remember how you said, "Oh yeah, we already have a thumbnail idea"?
Yeah, we have a lot. This particular session is coughing up big time.
It's just this is impressive. Now, this is the reason for the second circumcision. Oh, well, this is going to be interesting. All the people who departed from Egypt of the male gender, all the men fit for war, died in the desert during the very long wandering way. Holy shit, am I a genius or what? I literally just did. Remember, like a few sentences ago when I said maybe they all died? The people that.
Apparently they did, yeah.
I literally fucking did. Either I'm a genius or this book is just so poorly written that I can just predict every other thing that happens. Or maybe both. Yeah, so apparently at least all the male people that are fit for war. So I guess the old people will have died of old age. And the young people, I mean, maybe they were too young to properly remember what Egypt was like.
I have a serious problem.
Yeah, your chair is making noises. That's
I've run out of gin.
Maybe you should go to where you got the gin from.
Both of them.
You know, go to the origin. Don't play dumb. We all know that you wrote the Bible. No, I had a ghostwriter. Ghostwriter?
No. There's only so much my brain can take. This is not enough alcohol.
Alright. Now this is the reason for the second circumcision. All the people who departed from Egypt of the male gender, all the men fit for war, died in the desert during the very long wandering way.
But hold on.
All these people had been circumcised.
Hold on.
I have a question first.
Wasn't there a rule about them having to be circumcised afterwards? Which means they would have been circumcised already.
So first of all the males that are fit for war died in the desert. And the men that are not fit for war, so the old people, I guess they died anyway, and the young people didn't die? But the men that are like in sort of their ideal age, like 20s, 30s or whatever was the ideal age back then, they were probably in very good shape, and all of them just died, but the children survived? What? But
yes.
Yeah, all of those had been circumcised, but as you pointed out, yeah, every male at at the age of 10 days or something has to be circumcised, right?
Yeah, which means they would have already have done that by now.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. All the males, excluding the ones that are like less than 10 days or whatever the number was old, all of them have already been circumcised. And now the reason for circumcising them... No, let me finish. And now the reason...
Crisis averted. I've added gin to my shopping list.
You're welcome. So...
Welcome.
Even though all the, let's just say, relevant males have been circumcised, because all the males that are fit for war died, and they were circumcised, now you have to circumcise the other guys again. Like, is this some sort of, like, in memory of our fallen brethren, we will now take a part of your dick? Like, what is this? Path of Exile? Al-Qaeda sends his regards.
What if it's... Right, okay, so this feels like a strangely morbid idea, right? But what if it's like a bukkake, right? They're all standing in a circle, and they all just
Fuse?
they all just chop their foreskins off in the middle of a pile.
Okay, and then?
And then that's it. They've been deforeskinned.
And then his foreskin fell off. Like in that one song.
I'm sorry, what song are you referring? No, you know what? Never mind.
Obviously, the one which originally said, and then his dick fell off. I don't know what it's fucking called. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right. You know what? I'm not gonna do that on. Let me just do it here. YouTube.
I enjoy bread.
Unicorn? The fuck is this? What I'm looking for?
Are you okay? Are you having a mental breakdown? Oh, I dropped my ham. He's kind of. I'm having a strange feeling that I've drunk too much gin.
All right, I found it. You know, it's if you really need to know, you don't want to, but if you really look for the song "Unicorn" by Ty and Lashuk, but
I actually have never even seen this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
listen to it. Just and enjoy.
I'll fucking do it right now.
Yeah. I bet you will. Okay, so basically, because all the circumcised middle-aged men have died, we now have to circumcise the other ones again, because that makes sense. But the people who were born in the desert throughout the 40 years of the journey in the very broad wilderness were uncircumcised. What? You already fucked up. What? Until the ones who had not listened to the voice of the Lord were consumed. What? Why are they uncircumcised?
Well, maybe they were busy. You know how you're like in a hurry and you don't pack your lunch. Maybe that was the thing. Maybe they were just in a hurry and they didn't circumcise everyone. Maybe they were. It's like, you know, like Catholics these days. Like, all of them are believers, but not all of them regularly go to church. Maybe it's like one of those things where they're like, yeah, we believe, but like, we blah blah blah, and then maybe that's why they're not.
Yeah, so they're like, yeah, I believe, but I do enjoy my foreskins, so no.
Yeah, maybe that's why good old guys got
maybe the deserts back in those days were not like as we think of them, like those super hot places. Maybe they were kind of cold back then, and they just needed the foreskin to keep them warm.
I don't know how warm your foreskin would keep you, to be fair.
It's basically like a hoodie for your tip, so no.
Yeah, I trust me, I know. But again, how effective would it actually be?
For he had sworn to them before that he would not reveal to them the land flowing with milk and honey. What? Wait, what? So the Lord had sworn...
Did he just cockblock them again?
Who has sworn to whom? I'm trying to figure that one out now. So I think the Lord has sworn to those that were not circumcised that they wouldn't get it. No, I'm too lazy to figure this out. The Bible is stupid. The sons of these ones succeeded to the place of their daddies, and they were circumcised by Joshua.
Violently.
I just want to point out, don't they have an army of like 40,000 men? So let's just say...
Not anymore.
Yeah, obviously those type, but even if it's like, let's say 1,000, so Joshua is just sitting there chopping off 1,000, like...
Yeah, it's just like a really, really long line with guys with their dicks out.
Just, I mean, I guess at this point...
sounds like a real fucking sausage fest, if you ask me.
I guess... In the Beningi... Thanks. In the beginning, there was a subscriber.
I can't believe Cat Peasant's done
Happy
this.
birthday and get fucked.
That directly flies into my philosophy.
Good. Hello, Cat Peasant.
You fucking peasant.
I mean, the thing is, if Joshua is always the one circumcising, then I guess he got pretty good at it by now. So maybe he
would snip your foreskin. He would do it like a tattoo. Like if you just tell him like a shape, and he'd leave it like a spiky shape or like a curve or like some kind of letter. He'll just go and
no. He's optimizing. He's basically telling everyone, okay, pull on it, so kind of like this, and then he just runs past with like a knife and just zing, just like speed run, and within a minute he gets like over 100 of them. Joshua means he who devours foreskins. That explains a lot. Thank you for your insight.
He's just biting off. To be fair, they never specified how he cuts them. So for all we know, he literally is just tearing off his
He just uses a dull plastic knife. But they were uncircumcised, just as they had been born. And no one had circumcised them along the way. Yeah, that's usually how it works. If you're uncircumcised, that means you were born uncircumcised and nobody has circumcised you until then. At least as far as I know, that's how it works. I mean, I guess you could reattach it. So you could be like circumcised, reattach it, and then like double circum. I don't know. This book is stupid. Then, after they were all circumcised, they remained in the same place of the camp until they were healed. And the Lord said to Joshua,
He done that he did.
Today I have taken away from you the disgrace of Egypt.
Which is the foreskin.
That's the implication. That's what I was about to ask. And the name of that place was called Gilgal, even to the present day. Okay, somebody, maybe Terrace, just what does Gilgal mean? Because I have a feeling that might just have some relevance here.
I don't know. It just sounds like just a name.
Who knows? Maybe it translates to the country of foreskin. And the sons of Israel stayed at Gilgal. And they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the month at evening in the plains of Jericho. Are you okay?
I'm really not.
I know.
I'm
just going to finish this and then we're going to go on a tangent if I remember then. And on the following day, they ate unleavened bread from the grain of the land and cooked grain of the same year. And the manna ceased after they ate from the grain of the land. And the sons of Israel no longer made use of that food. Instead, they ate from the grain of the present year from the land of Canaan. And when Joshua was in the field of the city of Jericho, he lifted up his eyes, and he saw a man standing opposite him, holding a drawn sword. And he went to him and said, "Are you one of ours, or one of our adversaries?" And he responded, "Not at all. Instead, I am a prince of the host of the Lord, and now I have arrived." Joshua fell prone on the ground, and reverencing, he said, "What does my Lord say to his servant?" And he said, "Remove your shoes from your feet, and let me smell them."
I didn't know they've got a foot fetish. I wasn't listening to anything you said, but somehow that just broke through the fucking monotonous sound of you talking.
He said, "Remove your shoes from your feet, for the place on which you stand is holy." And Joshua did just as he had been commanded. Gilgamesh. Parts of the songs are nice, but overall I don't really enjoy the music too much.
Who is that? Who?
Gilgamesh. It's like Japanese. I don't remember the genre even. I think it was a Japanese band. Some very weird, obscure rock, I believe. I don't fucking know. I really like this chapter.
Hold on. I'm gonna Toblerone. Hold on, chocolate. One moment. Uno momento, por favor.
I'm gonna try. He just said I'm gonna Toblerone. Now, I may not be a native English speaker, so that might be why. So maybe somebody can help me pass the language barrier. But what the fuck does that word mean as a verb?
Hey, Skies, guess what? Toblerone.
That's not a verb though. So proverbially,
I will Toblerone you. You fuck.
Yeah, I do fuck. Why are you asking?
Sent pigs.
He's dropping a. Shut the fuck up. Okay, Harris.
Yes.
I know you didn't grow up over there. You grew up in Poland, right? Or at least part.
Not really.
Partly.
No.
So, but maybe you're familiar. Do you know what Boohbah means or is? Let's turn on the light real quick. Are you familiar with Boohbah?
Where is it? Well, where's what?
I think Boobah. I'm too scared to fucking Google it on stream, so I'm just gonna images. That works, yeah. Are you familiar with those things?
I am not.
Okay.
What the fuck is that?
Boohbah.
I don't like it.
It's apparently some British thing, as I was informed about yesterday, and I've never heard of it. I'm just very confused because, to quote someone else, they just look like uncircumcised penises.
I mean, it must be like a rather old British thing, or a really, really recent British thing. Because I was very much a kid in Britain watching TV and shit, and I do not remember this being a thing.
I don't know. That's that. I was hoping you would tell me. Boohbah is a British preschool television series created by blah 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 blah. Originally premiered on ITV on 14th of April 2003.
Oh yeah, it would have been, yeah.
So
final episode date 2006.
Yeah,
so yeah,
2003 to 2006.
Yeah. A little bit before I would have even been fucking watching TV.
Okay, so you are not familiar. How did you enjoy the song?
Not my type of a song, but it's got a good beat to it though.
It's about the lyrics.
Well, there isn't very many lyrics.
Yeah,
the ones that are there kind of slap.
I think they kind of drop. Okay, I think we're ready.
That's we're really not, but we're going to continue anyway.
Meaning myself and I.
Wow.
Joshua 6. Now Jericho was closed as well as fortified, out of fear of the sons of Israel, and no one dared to depart or to enter. And the Lord said to Joshua,
I'm so glad he did. I was starting to get a bit dry.
And the Lord said to Joshua, I'm starting to get a bit dry. Could you help me out?
Wait, what?
And the Lord said to Joshua, Behold. No, wait, hold. Behold. I have given Jericho into your hand with its king and all the strong men. Have all the warriors circle the city once each day. You shall do so for 6 days. I need to move that thing closer so I can actually... It's very far away, but whenever behold comes up, I'm gonna... Oh, hold. I'm gonna behold, so you hold.
Holding.
Yeah, that might work. Then, on the 7th day, the priests shall take the 7 trumpets, which are used on the Jubilee, and they shall precede the Ark of the Covenant. And you shall circle the city 7 times, and the priests shall sound the trumpets. And when the voice of the trumpet sounds when the voice of the trumpet sounds longer, and with interruptions, and it increases in your ears, then all the people shall cry out together with a very great shout. And the walls of the city shall fall to the foundation, and they shall enter it, each from a place opposite where they are standing. So basically, you run around the city for 6 days. On the 7th day, you just use your trumpets to play some kind of song, and when the song gets to a certain part, probably to the bass drop, then the walls will just literally fall down, and... What? Excuse me? What kind of black magic fuckery is this? Then Joshua, the son of Nun, called the priests, and he said to them, Take the Ark of the Covenant, and let 7 other priests take the 7 trumpets of the Jubilee, and advance before the Ark of the Lord. He also said to the people, Go, and circle the city, armed, preceding the Ark of the Lord. And when Joshua had finished his words, and the 7 priests sounded the 7 trumpets before the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and all the armed soldiers went ahead, the remainder of the common people followed the ark, and the sound of the trumpets grew louder everywhere. But Joshua had instructed the people, saying, "You shall not cry out, nor shall your voice be heard, and no word at all shall proceed from your mouth, until the day arrives on which I will say to you, cry out and shout." Thus the ark of the Lord circled the city once each day, and returning to the camp, it remained there. And so, with Joshua arising in the night, the priests took the ark of the Lord, and 7 of them took the 7 trumpets, which are used in the Jubilee, and they preceded the ark of the Lord, walking and sounding the trumpets. And the armed men went before them, and the remainder of the common people followed the ark, and they were blaring the trumpets. And they circled the city on the 2nd day once, and they returned to the camp. They did so for 6 days. Then, on the 7th day, rising at first light, they circled the city, just as has been ordered, 7 times. And at the 7th circling, when the priests sounded the trumpets, Joshua said to all of Israel, "Shout, for the Lord has delivered the city to you, and let this city be anathema with all the things that are within it, before the Lord. May only Rahab, the harlot, may only Rahab, the harlot, live, with all those who are with her in the house. For she hid the messengers whom we sent. But you must be careful that you do not touch any of those things as you have been instructed, for then you would be guilty of transgression, and all the camp of Israel would be under sin and would be troubled. But whatever gold and silver there will be, and vessels of brass or of iron, let these be consecrated to the Lord and be stored in his treasuries." Therefore, with all the people shouting and the trumpets blaring, after the voice and the sound increased to the ears of the multitude, the walls promptly fell to ruin. And each one climbed up at a place which was opposite where he was. They basically play their trumpets and then the walls fall and then they take another half turn around and then just, instead of just going, okay, and they seize the city. And they put to death, with 1 F, all who were in it, from man even to woman, from infant even to elder. Likewise, the oxen and sheep and donkeys they struck down with the edge of the sword. But Joshua said to the 2 men who had been sent to explore, "Enter the house of the harlot woman and bring her out, and all the things that are hers, just as you assured her by oath." And the youth entered, and they led out Rahab, and her parents, also her brothers, and all her goods and kindred, and they caused them to dwell outside the camp. Then they set fire to the city and all the things that were within it, except the gold and silver, and the vessels of brass or of iron, which they consecrated into the treasury of the Lord. Yet truly, Joshua caused Rahab the harlot and her daddy's household and all she had to survive. And they lived in the midst of Israel, even to the present day. For she hid the messengers whom he had sent to explore Jericho. At that time Joshua made an invocation, saying, "Cursed before the Lord is the man who will raise up and rebuild the city of Jericho. With his firstborn may he lay its foundation, and with the last of his children may he set up its gates." And so the Lord was with Joshua, and his name was made known throughout all the land. Yeah, so basically they took the city.
What the fuck? I'm actually quite impressed. So, on this bar of Toblerone, right, there's an ingredients list, as one would expect on the product.
Can't say ingredient without greedy.
Now, for some reason, there's the ingredients are in 2 languages, right?
English
languages
and Polish.
Yes. Why?
Because it's cheap to manufacture in Poland?
It's a Swiss brand chocolate.
Yeah, Swiss brand doesn't mean they produce in Switzerland. They produce wherever it's cheap.
It upsets me greatly.
Okay, you know what? You go ahead and be upset. I'm gonna go ahead and be on the toilet.
Well, don't do that. Apparently they've got a distributor in Ireland as well, strangely enough. They've got one in just general UK somewhere. They've got one in Ireland, and then they've got one in Poland. Strangely enough. Warsaw, of all places. What a fucking place to distribute chocolate from. Did you know that 100 grams of a Toblerone bar, 100 grams of that is hold on, I can do this, hold on. Out of the 100 grams, 28 of it is just fat. Now that's a lot of fat in a bar of chocolate. Only 0.12 of a gram out of that 100 is salt. It's not a lot of salt. Like that is genuinely not a lot of salt. I'd imagine there'd be more salt in it. Although technically you don't need to put salt in chocolate, but to be fair, I think salt works with everything pretty well in the right quantities. And I'm not sure that the 0.12 grams is an appropriate quantity. They could have maybe added like an extra pinch. Maybe bumped it up to like at least 0.3 of a gram. Like at least you want to at least have that like gentle flavor note of the salt, not just be there but noticeable. Not that you'd notice it in a bar of chocolate anyway, but just having more would just I think it would be a good move. That sounds high skydiving.
Chocolate with anything in it is just weird. Because that forces you to chew chocolate, and people who chew chocolate are weird.
I chew chocolate.
Yeah. Case in point.
I don't know what you're talking about. I also chew ice cream.
Joshua 7. But the sons of Israel transgressed the commandment, and they usurped what was anathema. For Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, from the tribe of Judah, took something from what was anathema. And the Lord became very angry with it against the sons of Israel.
I gotta replace Achan with something different.
Yeah, it's gonna be 4chan, we all know. Terrace, please. Literally, every single person in chat knew the moment you said, I gotta replace Achan. I promise you, every single person in chat was thinking that.
There you go. Let me update the Bible upgrades.
I just want to point out, we just have random 4chan, Carmi, Zabdi, and then Zerah. I think Zerah we've heard before, maybe? Tribe of Judah? Like just an entire line of like heritage that we just never heard of before.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not important up until right now.
And
plot armor.
And when Joshua sent men from Jericho against Ai, which is beside Bethaven, toward the Estonian region of the town of Bethel, he said to them, "Go up and explore the land." And they fulfilled his instruction, and they explored. Aye!
I'm sorry. Where are you? Where are you seeing this?
And returning, they said to him, "Let not the entire people go up. Instead, let 2,000 or 3,000 men go out and destroy the city. Why should all the people be Why should all the people be troubled without cause against the enemy that are so few, so very few?" Are you okay, Terrace?
I'm really not, because you're making random noises.
I'm reading the fucking Bible. What do you mean? Therefore, they went up with 3,000 fighters, and they promptly turned their backs. And they were struck down by the men of the city of Ai, and 36 men of them fell. And the adversaries pursued them from the gate, even as far as Shebarim.
You know what else fell? No, some of my alcohol. It's all over my desk now.
And they felled them as they were fleeing downward. And the heart of the people was struck with fear, and it melted like water. What, the fear or the heart?
Yes.
And truly, Joshua tore his garments, and he fell prone on the ground before the ark of the Lord, even until evening, both he and all the elders of Israel.
So he just tore his clothes off and
Like a fucking stripper, he just tears his clothes off and then just falls down on the ground, and that just sounds like a very kinky orgy, that's all I'll say.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's not allowed.
True. And they cast dust upon their heads. And Joshua said, Alas, O Lord Skytis, why would you want to lead this people over the river Jordan, so that you might deliver us into the hand of the Amorite and destroy us? I wish that we had remained... Oh, come on! Not again! Oh, for fuck's sake! Shut your fucking mouth, you filthy pleb!
Has it not been like at least a couple of generations since?
I wish that we had remained beyond the Jordan, as when we began. My Lord Skytis, what shall I say, seeing Israel turning their backs to their enemies? The Canaanites and all the inhabitants of the land will hear of it, and coming together as one, they will surround us, and they will wipe our name from the earth. And what will you do concerning your great name? The Lord said to Joshua,
Oh, of course he did.
I think the phrase you're looking for is ooh.
Daddy.
That as well. I also had a brilliant idea. I'm not gonna do it, but just the thought was kind of funny. Asking you to ask Mangochi to record the most ooh woo in existence. Then add a sound alert for that, but just name the sound alert Honor. And then make it like 10,000 plus channel points and wait until me redeems it. Okay, let me one up it. What if she doesn't say ooh woo, but what if she instead says bust to woo?
You're fired.
And the Lord said to Joshua, Rise up! Why are you lying flat on the ground? Israel has sinned and transgressed my covenant, and they
At
have
least
taken...
his neck isn't stiff.
Go back to Egypt, Terrace. And they have taken from what is anathema. They have stolen and lied, and they have hidden it among their goods. Israel is not able to stand before his enemies, and he will flee from them. For he has been defiled by what is anathema. I will no longer be with you. I am also having a stroke. Help!
Hello?
I'm just gonna read again. I will no longer be with you until you destroy him who is guilty of this wickedness. Rise up, sanctify the people, and you shall say to them, Be sanctified tomorrow, for thus says the Lord, the Skytis of Israel. Have we had the title the Skytis of Israel before? I don't think we have, but it might have been super long ago. Does anyone remember? Because Terrace surely doesn't.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The Lord is speaking to Joshua right now, and he's saying Joshua needs to tell his people. For thus says the Lord, the Skytis of Israel. So basically, Skytis is giving himself the title, the Skytis of Israel. And I'm asking you, have we had the Skytis of Israel before as a title?
I don't think so. Maybe. Probably. No, I don't know. I'm gonna drink.
I feel like this is a meme I should be familiar with, but I'm not.
It is that what you're reading is literally the meme.
Yeah, I know. I'm just not familiar with it.
I'll send you the original. That's not the original. Hold on. I've been lied to. My copy didn't copy. So now I have to copy.
Hold on, copy image.
P?
This is the original. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. It's meme. Okay.
Yeah, but
just meme. Okay. One's name, James' name. Please do what? One's named the James. Are you alright? But James' name's having a strong collarbundulance.
I like how you can't even fucking read it. Babe's name's having a stroke. Excuse me?
Babe's nonce. It's having a stroke, hello.
I like how it's Babe's nonce, but if you read it, it's Babe's nonce. Which, nonce? Which is kind of nonsense.
You're a fucking nonce.
Nonce of your business.
Ooh!
Ooh.
Shut.
That which is
Actually
anathema.
ceased to exist.
That which is anathema is in your midst, O Israel. You are not able to stand before your enemies until he who has been contaminated by this wickedness is taken away from you. And you shall draw near in the morning, each one by your tribes. And whichever tribe will be found by Lot shall come forward by its families. Hey, they didn't capitalize Lot. And also Lot is still alive. And the families buy houses, and the house bind the men. You seem upset.
Actual fucking silence.
You seem quite upset.
I'm a lot upset.
Yeah, thank you. That's where I was going. You're welcome. And whoever he may be that will be found guilty of this deed, he shall be burned with fire, with all his substance. For he transgressed.
As opposed to burnt with water.
Burned with words? Duh. Just public roasting. You missed a golden opportunity by not changing Lord. Shut the fuck up. I hate people who write a lot. Which means Terrace is gonna do that right now because
I'm not. It's better just to leave it as Lot, so that Skydus keeps making Lot jokes.
You should have a character in PoE named Lot, and whenever somebody asks you, you just say, "I'm playing Char Lot." For he transgressed the covenant of the Lord, he committed a wicked act in Israel. And so Joshua, rising in the morning, brought forth Israel by their tribes, and the tribe of Judah was found. And when its families had been presented, the family of Zerah was found. Likewise, bringing that one forward by the houses, he discovered Zabdi. Zabdi's nuts. Got it!
Oh.
Terrence is dead.
This is actually fucking. This is a horrible experience. Someone please help me. Oh.
And dividing his house by each man, he found Fortune, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi's nuts, the son of Zerah, from the tribe of Judah. And Joshua said to Fortune, "Oh God, just whatever's gonna happen, whatever's gonna follow now is just gonna be great with this context." And Joshua said to Fortune, "My son, give glory to the Lord, the Skydus of Israel, and confess and reveal to me what you have done. You may not conceal it."
Oh no.
That is so fucking fitting, holy shit. Fortune, confess your sins.
Oh fuck, this is.
I know you have triangulated the flag.
What?
the flag of fuck. What was his name? God, I can't think of the fucking name. Shia LaBeouf when he went completely insane and he had the "He will not divide us" and all that. Are you not?
What?
He put a flag up somewhere on some roof in America, and he was like something like, "This is the sign that he will not divide us." I think this was when Trump was about to be president.
Who did that?
Shia LaBeouf, aka Just Do It. You're welcome. He put up a flag and then he had a live stream 24/7 that just showed the flag to just kind of as a proof that's like, yeah, here, he will not divide us. And then 4chan people went absolutely fucking batshit crazy over that, and they triangulated where the flag should be based on like which direction it's blowing because of the wind and all that. And then they got kind of near it and started honking. And when you hear the honking on the stream, you know you're kind of close to it. And then they eventually collectively figured out where the fucking flag is and stole it. 4chan.
That is the most 4chan thing I've ever heard.
Yes. Shia LaBeouf is insane. LaBeouf? Is that? Yeah, that's what Mr. Burns. I think that looks more correct how you spell it, but I don't fucking know. Yeah, Shia LaBeouf went buff in the head. Actual cannibal? I have no fucking clue. I don't know anything about that person. Really.
The question is though, is that a buff or a nerf?
Good question. It's Le buff.
Or a nerf?
Well, I guess it's Le buff? I don't fucking know. And 4chan responded to Joshua. And he said to him,
Oh no, it did.
"Truly, I have sinned against the Lord, the skies of Israel, and I have done one thing and another." 4chan be like, holy fuck. Oh my god, I'll be right back. The fuck?
I'll come back. Don't leave me here with Mr. Burns. Not again. No.
If 4chan was a single person, and then somebody's like, "Oh, Mitch, confess your sin." Yeah, I've done a thing and another. Like, don't worry about it. Holy fuck! And like, I was like, yeah, this is probably going to be kind of funny if given the context of 4chan, but like, this is basically almost perfect. It's just, holy fuck, this is good. What is this? No, I don't think I want to. No, that's gonna be terrible music. No thanks.
I'm not. I just like lost at least 10 brain cells
Of the 11 remaining.
Of the 9 remaining.
So this is still 4chan speaking. I have done one thing and another. For I saw among the spoils a very fine scarlet cloak, which is just a euphemism for a flag, and 200 shekels of silver, and a gold bar of 50 shekels. And coveting these, I took and hid them in the ground near the middle of my tent. And I covered the silver with the soil that I had dug.
Really? I would have never guessed.
Therefore, Joshua sent ministers who, running to his tent, discovered everything hidden in the same place, together with the silver. Yeah, everything hidden, together with the silver. Yeah, like, silver is included in everything. This book's terrible. And
we should like fully rewrite it.
Just because you don't have a life and have nothing better to do, Terrace.
You read my mad ramblings. You clearly have nothing better to do either.
I just did that because I was feeling sorry for you.
Wow.
And taking these from the tent, they brought them to Joshua and to all the sons of Israel, and they cast them down before the Lord. And so Joshua took 4chan, the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the cloak, and the gold bar, also his sons and daughters, the oxen and donkeys and sheep, and even the tent and all his goods. And all of Israel went with him. And he brought these to the valley of Achor. Acon. There, Joshua said, because you have troubled us, the Lord troubles you on this day. And all of Israel stoned him. This is like, and everybody clapped. And all the things that were his were consumed by fire, and they gathered upon him a great pile of stones, which remains even to the present day. And the fury of the Lord was averted from them, and the name of that place was called the Valley of Acre, even to this day. Anything you would like to add?
I support the furry movement.
Joshua 8. Then the Lord said to Joshua.
Oh yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
So just to be clear, 4chan committed, well, I guess not technically sins, but committed unethical acts. 4chan was stoned to death, and now 4chan is back, committing even more despicable acts.
What an absolute fucking chad.
Somebody needs to stop 4chan. Before he gets too powerful.
Too powerful to be kept alive.
Then the Lord said to Joshua, "You should not fear, and you should not dread. Take with you the entire multitude of fighters, and rising up, ascend to the town of Ai."
Shut up.
Behold, I have delivered into your hand its king and people, and the city and the land. And you shall do to the city of Ai and to its king, just as you did to Jericho and to its king. Yet truly, the spoils and all the living things you shall plunder for yourselves. Set an ambush against the city behind it. And Joshua rose up, and the entire army of warriors with him, so that they might ascend against Ai. And
I will steal all of your fucking socks if you don't stop.
And he sent 30,000 elect strong men in the night. And he instructed them, saying, "Set an ambush behind the city. You shall withdraw not far away, and let everyone be prepared. But I and the remainder of the multitude that is with me will approach from the opposite side of the city. And when they come out against us..." I have a question. How do you come out against someone? It's like, "Hey,
So-
terrorist, I'm gay, and I'm also against you."
No. You walk up to them and you look at them straight in the face and go, "You're gay."
But that's not you coming out. That's you trying to expose the other person. No,
But you're coming out against them.
no, you're making them come out. You're trying to what?
No, you're coming out against them.
No, that's when somebody's at your door and he's like, "Hey, terrorists, we need to talk," and you come out to stab them with a knife. That's coming out against them.
Well,
And when they come out against us,
I'm sorry, what? What would it be? Who's Death Counter?
I think just in general people who died, but that's literally uncountable because some people die of old age, and then it's like, oh yeah, then there was a war, and the entire city was wiped, and there was a few hundred people of the Sons of Israel lost. But it's just,
Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Burns, right? What you do, we'll include a death count under one condition. That you go back to all the streams we did, and you tell us how many deaths are up to this point, and then we'll put it up on stream and then continue counting from that point on.
all right. So now that issue will never be brought up again. And where they come out against us, we will flee and turn our backs, just as we did before, until, pursuing us, they are drawn away from the city. For they will think that we are fleeing as before. Then, while we are fleeing, and they are pursuing, you shall rise up from the ambush, and you shall lay waste to the city, and the largest guidance will deliver it into your hands. And when you have seized it, set it on fire. And you shall do all that I have ordered. Question.
Yes.
How much more drunk do you need to be to endure this?
Does that answer your question?
No.
Ah, fuck.
The phrase, the Lord will, what was it? The Lord will deliver it into your hands. Just as an option. Up to you.
Well, how often does he say it?
Not about anyone saying it. It's just every now and then the Lord is like, oh yeah, I will deliver the promised land into your hands. So now we have the promised land and delivering into someone's hands.
I'll leave that one up to you.
Well, then we don't need to do it. And he sent them away. And they traveled to the place of the ambush, and they settled between Bethel and Ai, toward the western region of the city of Ai.
I will fucking open a can of beans with your forehead.
But Joshua remained for that night in the midst of the people. And rising at first light, he reviewed his troops, and he went up, the elders at the front of the army, surrounded by an auxiliary of fighters. And when they had arrived and had ascended from the opposite side of the city, they stood toward the northern region of the city, and there was a valley in the middle, between them and the city. Now he had chosen 5,000 men, and he had positioned them in ambush between Bethel and Ai, at the western part of the same city.
I'm about to get very upset with you.
You sure you didn't mean to say I am about to get very upset with you?
Boy!
Yet, truly, all the remainder of the army was arranged to in a line to the north, so that the very end of that multitude reached to the western region of the city. Then Joshua went out that night, and he got fucking wasted.
No me.
And Joshua went out that night, and he stood in the middle of the valley. And when the king of Ai had seen this, he hurried in the morning, and he went out with the entire army of the city.
I will shave your left eyebrow.
You know, for the right price, I'll let you do that.
No, there is no price. I will just fucking do it.
Thank you! That's literally what I've been thinking this entire time, but Terrace is too fucking stupid. He could literally just capitalize. That would also work. Or he could literally just capitalize it. But he's too fucking stupid.
No. I'm not the problem here. You're the problem. I'm not gonna solve the problem by...
Terrace.
I'm not...
Wow, how mature. Yeah, blame Mr. Burns for being the problem. Wow, Terrace.
Both of you are the fucking problem.
And he arranged them in a line opposite the desert, not knowing that
I'll fucking arrange you in a line.
Lay hidden behind his back. Yet truly, Joshua and all of Israel withdrew from the place, pretending to be afraid and fleeing along the way of the wilderness. You mean just like Joshua aligned every man and then just went and zing for the second circumcision? And they pursued them, shouting together and encouraging one another. And when they had withdrawn from the city, and indeed not one remained in the city of Ai and of Bethel, who did not pursue after Israel, leaving the towns open after they had rushed out, the Lord said to Joshua,
I'm so glad he did.
lift up the shield that is in your hand toward the city of Ai, for I will deliver it to you.
Alright, that's it.
And when he had lifted up the shield toward the city, the ambush, which lay hidden, rose up quickly, and advancing for the city, they seized it and set it on fire.
Where the fuck? There it is.
Took you long enough. Now, the men of the city who were pursuing Joshua, looking back and seeing the smoke of the city rising up, even to heaven, were no longer able to flee in one direction or another, especially since those who had pretended to flee and who were heading toward the wilderness had turned back very strongly against those who were pursuing them. And Joshua and all of Israel, seeing that the city had been captured and that smoke of the city was ascending, returned and struck down the men of Ai. Wow, terrorists.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Then too, those who had seized and set the city on fire, departing from the city toward their own men, began to strike the enemies in the middle. Therefore, since the adversaries were cut off from both sides, none of the so great a multitude was saved. Also, they apprehended the king of the city of Den-Amurk alive. They brought him before Joshua. And so, after all were slain who had pursued Israel, fleeing toward the wilderness, and after they fell by the sword in the same place, the sons of Israel returned
Games.
and struck the city with games. Nagor just said he would like to join us.
Oh no.
Now there were 12,000 persons who had fallen on the same day, from man even to woman, the entire city of Denmark.
Games.
Goodbye for a few seconds before someone had dinner. No, you're gonna join us right now. Paris needs help.
I require mental aid help. I'm being bullied.
Enjoy, you lovely hairy weirdos. My name's not Harry. Or is it?
Wow.
Harry versus Smooth. That's a fucking throwback and a half. Nice thumbnail. Truly, Joshua did not draw back his hand, which he had stretched out on high, keeping hold of the shield until all the inhabitants of Denmark were put to death with one F. Then the sons of Israel divided among themselves the cattle and the plunder of the city, just as the Lord had instructed Joshua. And he set fire to the city, and he caused it to be a perpetual tomb. And he suspended the king on a gallows? Wait, wouldn't it be a gallows?
The gallows.
On a gallows.
Yeah.
English is stupid. Until evening and the setting of the sun. And Joshua instructed, and they took down his dead body from the hanging trees, and they cast it at the very entrance of the city, gathering a great pile of stones upon it, which remains even to the present day. Then Joshua built an altar to the Lord, the skydies of Israel, on Mount Ebal, just as Moses, the servant of the Lord, had instructed to the sons of Israel, and this was written in the book of the law of Moses. Truly, an altar of uncut stones, which iron had not touched. There's a book on the law of osmosis. I didn't know we were doing fucking chemistry and biology here.
Shut the fuck up.
And he offered holocausts upon it to the Lord, and he immolated victims as peace offerings. And he wrote on the stones the Deuteronomy of the law of osmosis, which he had set in order before the sons of Israel. The Deuteronomy of the law of osmosis. Sure. Then all the people, and those greater by birth, and the commanders and judges were standing on both sides of the ark, in the sight of the priests who were carrying the ark of the covenant of the Lord, with both the new arrival and the native born, one half part of them beside Mount Gerizim, and one half beside Mount Ebal, just as Moses, the servant of the Lord, had instructed. And first, wait, what the fuck? And first, certainly, he blessed the people of Israel. After this, he read all the words of the blessing and the cursing, and all the things that were written in the book of the law. He left nothing untouched out of those things that Moses had ordered. And he repeated everything before the entire multitude of Israel, with the women and the little ones and the new arrivals who were staying among them. Sus. Go ahead, Harris.
What?
Go ahead.
Go. What?
Speak your mind.
What mind? What did I do?
I don't know. Would you mind?
I would mind.
Okay.
Would you?
I mean, you would mind if you had some brain cells.
What? I feel like I missed a crucial plot point here.
Yeah, you missed the plot point where you got absolutely fucking trolled by me right about now.
Was it the sus part?
No, I literally just pretended like there was something just to troll you.
Oh.
Also, I just checked. I've noticed it, like the chapters. I literally just checked, and I just noticed that they can't see it.
Yeah, I know. It has a whole new layer to the meme.
Yeah, I enjoy. I just decided I wasn't even gonna acknowledge it and just let people be like, "What the fuck?" But it just occurred to me that they can't even fucking see it, which makes it so much better.
Yeah. It's literally only you can see it.
Joshua 9. And when these things were heard, all the kings across the Jordan.
Nine. I'm sorry. Go
Joshua 9. Doch. I'm sure the German viewers will enjoy this. And when these things were heard, all the kings across the Jordan, who lived among the mountains and the plains, along the coastline and the shores of the Great Sea, also those who were living near Lebanon, the Hittite, and the Amorite, and the Canaanite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite, gathered themselves together so that they might have a fucking stroke, so that they might fight against Joshua and Israel, with one mind and the same resolve. But those who were living in Gibeon, please. But those who were living in Gibeon,
Actually,
please,
shut up.
hearing all that Joshua had done to Jericho and
I'm fucking sorry. What? I'm actually going to fucking lose my shit.
had done to Jericho and Denmark, planning cleverly, took for themselves provisions, placing old sacks upon their donkeys and wineskins. Old sacks and wineskins. Excuse me, what?
What?
Old sacks. You heard me right. Old sacks. It's like when two old people try to store something, they use old sacks.
Fucking Germans, that's what it's got.
And wineskins that had been torn and had been sewed up. And having very old shoes, which had been sewn with patches, indicating their age, and being clothed in old garments. Having also loaves, which they carried as food for the journey, which were hard and broken into pieces. And they traveled to Joshua, who at the time was staying in the camp at Gilgal. And they said to him and to all of Israel, "We have come from a land down under." Wow, rude. "We have come from a faraway land, desiring to make peace with you." And the sons of Israel responded to them and said, "Perhaps, instead, you live in the land which ought to be ours by lot. And we would be unable to form a pact with you." Wait, what? "Perhaps, instead, you live in the land which ought to be ours by lot, and we would be unable to form a pact with you." But they said to Joshua, "We are your servants." And Joshua said to them, "But who are you? And where are you from?" And they responded, "Your servants have arrived from a very faraway land in the name of the Lord, your Skytus. For we have heard about the fame of his power, all the kings that he has done in Egypt." Ooh. And to what? All the things, not kings, holy fucking shit, I can't read. All the things that he has done in Egypt, and to the two kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, Sihon, the king of Heshbon, and Og, the king of Bashan, who was at Ashtaroth. What is this, fucking World of Warcraft? What the fuck is Ashtaroth?
Well, it is now.
Like budget Azeroth. And our elders and all the inhabitants of our land have said to us, Take in hand provisions for the very long journey and meet with them, and say, "We are your servants, form a pact with us." Lo, the loaves were taken up warm when we departed from our houses, so that we might come to you. Ooh. Now they might have become dry and broken due to age. These wineskins were new when we filled them. Now they are torn and broken. The garments are wearing thin, and the shoes we have on our feet, due to the great length of the distance, have become worn and are nearly consumed. And so they accepted this, because of their provisions, and they did not consult the mouth of the Lord. Just the mouth.
what of the Lord?
The mouth. Just the mouth.
Just the mouth.
Yes.
Wow.
They would. What do you think? Yeah, let's go.
This is when we discovered that the whole god is basically just a giant floating mouth.
No, like how? What else would they consult? Would they just walk up to the Lord and be like, "Hey, foreskin of the Lord, tell us what to do"?
Well, we've already established he's very much against the foreskins.
Maybe he just wants to be special, so he wants everybody else to not have foreskin, so he can feel special about his.
No.
Have you
You're seeing it all
have
wrong.
you played any online games in recent years?
No. His father cut his foreskin off, and he's decided, well, if I can't have foreskin, no one can.
Or maybe he just wants to feel special. You know, if everybody uses the same skin as you, you don't feel special. So if you spend $20 on your skin and everybody else has the same one, you kind of feel like you wasted your money. But if you're the only one, if you're the only person in existence to have that skin, everybody will be like, oh, holy shit, it's Terrace, the guy with the foreskin.
I think that sentence, that whole sentence might just be the worst thing I've ever heard. Can we please have that as a fucking sub-alert?
No. And Joshua made peace with them, and entering into a pact, he promised that they would not be put to death with 1D. Woo-woo. Terrace, your tea's ready. I can hear that you're busy, Terrace. I literally hear what you're up to. Just for the record. The leaders of the multitude also swore to them. I'm just gonna have to speak louder. Then, 3 days after the pact was formed, they heard that they lived in the vicinity and that they would soon be among them, sus. And so the sons of Israel moved the camp, and they arrived at their cities on the 3rd day, those which are called Gibeon Plus and Shephira and Beeroth. And Kiriath Jearim. I don't fucking know. And they did not strike them, because the leaders of the multitude had sworn to them in the name of the Lord, the Skytis of Israel. Well, so this really is his new title now, huh? And so, all of the common people murmured against the leaders. And they responded to them. We have sworn to them in the name of the Lord, the Skytis of Israel, and for that reason we are not able to touch them, Uwu. But we shall do this to them. Certainly, let them be preserved so that they may live, lest the wrath of the Lord be stirred up against us, since we would have sworn falsely. But though they live, let them serve the entire multitude by cutting wood and carrying water. And while they were discussing these things, Joshua called the Gibeon Plusites, and he said to them,
I want to go home.
To your parents.
I will actually fucking... I will unleash wrath up on your front door, I swear to God.
Joshua called the Gibeon Plusites, and he said to them, why would you be willing to deceive us by fraud, saying, we live very far away from you, when you are in our midst? Therefore, you shall be under a curse, and your stock shall not cease to be cutters of wood and carriers of water into the house of my Skytis. And they responded, it was reported to us, your servants, that the Lord your Skytis has promised his servant Osmosis that he would give you the entire land, and that he would destroy all its inhabitants. Therefore they were very afraid, and we made a provision for our lives, compelled by the dread of you, and we undertook this counsel. And now we are in your hand. Act toward us as it seems good and right to you. Therefore Joshua did just as he had said, and he freed them from the hands of the sons of Israel, so that they would not be killed. And he decreed on that day that they would be in the ministry of all the people and of the altar of the Lord, cutting wood and carrying water, even until this present time, in the place which the Lord had chosen.
What?
I like how whenever I just pause, Terrace is like actively trying to figure out why I'm not speaking anymore.
Well, there's usually a reason.
Yeah, the chapter is over and I need to drink.
Oh.
And also, it's fun to confuse you.
Oh.
Are you okay?
Sorry, my eyes just skimmed over a word, and I fucking can't. You're fine, you'll get to it eventually. Keep going.
Joshua 10. And when Adoni-Zedek, the king of Jerusalem, had heard these things, specifically that Joshua had seized Denmark and had overthrown it, for just as he had done to Jericho and its king, so he did do to Denmark and its king, and that the Gibeon-Pleasites had fled over to Israel and were now their confederates, he was very afraid. For Gibeon-Plis was a great city, and was one of the royal cities, and was greater than the town of Denmark, and all its warriors were very strong. Therefore, Adoni-Zedek, the king of Jerusalem, sent to Hoham, the king of Hebron, and to Piram, the king of Jarmuth, and also to Japhia, the king of Lachish, and to Debir, the king of Eglon, saying, Ascend to me, and bring troops, so that we may fight against Gibeon-Plis, for it has fled over to Joshua and to the sons of Israel. And so, having assembled the 5 kings of the Amorites, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon, together with their armies, went up and encamped around Gibeon-Plis, laying siege to it. But the inhabitants of the city of Gibeon-Plis, when it was besieged, sent to Joshua, who was then staying in the camp at Gilgal, and they said to him, May you not draw back your hands from helping your servants. Come quickly and free us, and bring troops. For all the kings of the Amorites who live in the mountains have gathered together against us. And Joshua ascended from Gilgal, and the entire army of warriors with him, very strong men. And the Lord said to Joshua, You should not fear them, for I have delivered them into your hands. None of them will be able to withstand you, because you're just so fucking damn good looking, I guess. And so Joshua, ascending from Gilgal throughout the night, rushed upon them suddenly. And the Lord set them in disarray before the face of Israel, and he crushed them in a great defeat at Gibeon-Plis. And he pursued them along the way of the ascent to Beth Horon. Horon whom? And he struck them down, even as far as Azkaban and Makeda. Terrace, I have 2 tasks for you. Thank you, you've done 1 already. That time could literally not have been more perfect. Holy fuck.
My game is on point.
Yeah, I highlighted the second one for you.
What? Wait, hold on.
What's the end of the current page?
I don't know what page.
121 or 50, whichever page number you prefer. This Azkaban is written in a very weird way. And Makeda.
Understand.
Makeda? I don't fucking know what the hell. What the fuck are these names? And while they were fleeing from the sons of Israel, and were on the descent of Beth Horon, the Lord cast great stones from heaven upon them, as far as Azkaban. It literally just rained stones? Like what? And many more were killed by the hailstones, then were struck down by the swords of the sons of Israel. Then Joshua spoke to the Lord on the day that he handed over the Amorite in the sight of the sons of Israel, and he said before them, O sun, you shall not move toward Gibeon-Plis. O moon, you shall not move toward the valley of Denmark-Jalon, Fuck am I? Help? What? Have you changed this again? I am so confused. What is?
No, that was the previous change and replace that messed with it. Now, I have made this specific find and replace.
What the
I
fuck
have made this. I have made this specific find and replace to be case sensitive for AI, because obviously there's probably AI in the middle of others' words. But apparently there was something that began with the AI.
Yeah, it was apparently called Igelon. Sorry, Igelon.
I'm going to peel the skin off your fucking foot like an orange.
As long as you don't peel my foreskin, then we're all good.
I'll peel it like a banana.
Are you also gonna suck on it like on a banana?
Who?
And the sun and the moon stood still until the people had avenged themselves of their enemies. Has this not been written in the book of the just? Who's being addressed now? The reader? Like, what the fuck? And so the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and it did not hurry to its rest for the space of one day. And hold. And so the sun stood still in the midst of heaven. So basically, the sun was just like, well, was there for quite a while, longer than it usually was. And it did not hurry to its rest, which probably is just a euphemism for sunset, for the space of one day. As far as I know, a day is defined by the fucking sun setting. So if you say that the sun didn't set for one day, that literally makes no fucking sense. Are you trying?
It does. It does.
Are you trying to tell me that they had?
You can define a day as a 24-hour period.
And you're trying to tell me that they were able to measure the time back then with something other than a sundial or whatever it's called?
Yes.
All right, please show proof.
Hold on.
This is like a math exam. Show work.
I will. Hold on. I will literally show you.
Yeah, please do. I
I
don't know when other types of clocks were invented, so I'm actually curious. Never before and never after.
That's not what I wanted. Hold on.
I'm sure you.
There you go. Checkmate.
Oh, I guess I need to share it with the class. And when were these invented?
I'm about to figure it out.
The fuck are they called in English?
Hourglass. Apparently, they were invented in 8th century AD by some French fuck.
I prefer to call an hourglass or sand timer, sand clock, or egg timer. I prefer to go with egg timer from now on, please.
Wrong. No, because an egg timer is like one of those egg-shaped things that you twist, and
oh yeah, I'm sure you twist egg,
and then it makes a bing.
Yeah, I'm sure you twist egg and he makes a bing. And then you make those things with your noise,
the camera,
with your mouth. Yeah, sure. If you want your mom to record. By the way, Terrace.
Yes.
When are you gonna paint your walls again? It's quite noticeable. No, you don't have to do it right now. I'm just actually curious. How? All right, now that we got rid of Terrace, riot? Anyone want a riot? Anyone got a pitchfork? Where's my fucking pitchfork? Hello, Terrace! Welcome back. How's it going?
I can't help it right now.
Oh my god, that timing is just... Thank you.
It's on that fucking roll today.
He really is.
Oh,
like,
no.
I'm gonna be honest.
This is just... Nobody's gonna understand. This is great. Hello, me. Hello, me. Welcome, everybody.
You fucking sausage.
I'm Skytus. I'm joined by the one and only Terrace, who's constantly eating something. Except for right now, because I implicitly told him to paint his walls. Yes, he's going to literally paint his wall live on stream. Other than that, we have some more great content, like the Bible TM. But actually good. We're working on fixing it. But for now, let's just enjoy Terrace painting his walls, and then we can watch paint dry. Your camera's autofocus is a little.
That's by design.
How did your runs go, me? They can't have been any worse than Terrace is feeling right now. So, no matter how bad they were, don't be upset. Terrace is feeling worse.
I'm always feeling worse.
I would give you a summary of the Bible, but at this point we're so far into it that there's just no way. Basically,
The summary may take several hours.
yeah. Basically, Osmosis is dead. Now Joshua has kind of replaced him.
I like how you're saying to people who have no idea what you're talking about, osmosis,
Shut up, Terrace. Stop.
which makes even less sense.
No, shut up. That's the point. He has been replaced by Joshua, and now they just seized some cities and.
Yeah, the city of Denmark.
Yeah, the city of Denmark, for example. And now apparently we just had a day that lasted longer than a normal day, and we were trying to figure out if they had anything other than sundials back then. They had like hourglasses or anything of the likes.
I don't even think they had sundials back then.
I mean, how else would they call God other than sundialing him? I'm really putting the pain in paint. So yeah, for those of you that
better fucking watch yourself.
For those of you that joined in on the raid, no, we don't actually believe in the Bible. We're just here to make fun of it. It's comedic, I promise. Also, I make puns like this basically non-stop, at least when Terrace is around, just to make him suffer. So if you enjoy that, stick around. It's gonna be one hell of a ride. I can promise you that much.
As if anyone actually stuck around.
Sundialing, would Jesus answer? Good one. I mean, maybe they're stuck with these nuts. Never before and never after was there so long a day as when the Lord obeyed the voice of a man and fought for Israel. And Joshua returned with all of Israel into the camp of Gilgal, for the 5 kings had fled and had hidden themselves in a cave near the city of Makkedah. And it was reported to Joshua that the 5 kings had been found hidden in a cave near the city of Makkedah. And he instructed his companions and said, "Roll vast stones to the mouth of the cave and station attentive men who will keep them closed. But as for you, do not stay here. Instead, pursue all enemies and cut down the lattermost of those who are fleeing. You shall not permit those whom the Lord Skytus has delivered into your hands to enter into the protection of their cities." Thus, the adversaries were struck down in a great defeat, having been nearly consumed by even to utter annihilation. Those who were able to escape from Israel entered into fortified cities. And the entire army returned to Joshua at Makkedah, where they were encamped in good health and in full numbers, and no one dared to move his tongue against the sons of Israel.
So they just didn't even lose a single person, is that what
Literally
they're implying?
flawless victory because they turned on SVG 1 and Skytus 1.
Shut up. Actually fucking stop.
Would he get Holy Ghosted?
Shut actual fucking cease.
I did not expect Terrence to even pay attention to get that one. Nice one, me. And Joshua instructed, saying, "Open the mouth of the cave and bring forward to me the 5 kings who are hidden within it." And the ministers did just as they had been ordered. And they led out to him the 5 kings from the cave: the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon. And when they had been led out to him, all called the men of Israel. Oh yeah, right. Shut up, phone. Wait a minute. Had been led out to him. He called all the men of Israel, and he said to the leaders of the army who were with him, "Go and place your feet upon the necks of these kings." Oh no, I'm getting flashbacks to. I'm not even gonna. No. And when they had gone and had tread their feet upon the necks of those who were thrown down, he spoke to them again. Do not be afraid, and do not dread. Be strengthened and be steadfast. For so will the Lord do to all your enemies against whom you fight. And Joshua struck them down and killed them, and he suspended them on 5 gallows.
Murder.
And they hung there until evening. And when the sun had set, he instructed his assistants that they should take them down from the gallows. And having been taken down, they cast them into the cave where they had lain hidden, and they set vast stones at its mouth, which remain even to the present day. Restart! I'm sure Left 4 Dead 2 speedrunners will get this. Also on the same day, Joshua seized Makeda, and he struck it with the edge of the sword, and he put to death with one F its king and all its inhabitants. He did not leave it, even the smallest remains. Don't worry, Cat Peasant, it's fine. And he did to the king of Makeda just as he had done to the king of Jericho. Then he went on with all of Israel from Makeda to Libnah. Libnah? What's Libnah?
I want to go to a happy place.
I need a command for that fucking clip. If I wasn't so lazy and forgetful, I would. Anyways, for those of you who don't know, there is a very funny clip related to that. And I'm sure somebody's going to be bored enough to bring that up. There's very many funny clips. I'm a funny person. Hello, please follow me and give me money. I need attention. And he fought against it. And the Lord delivered it.
Please don't give him money.
With its king into the hands of Israel. And they struck the city with the edge of the sword and all its inhabitants. I like how it's always specified that they strike them with the edge of the sword and never like the hilt or the handle of the sword. Like just bonking someone on the head.
Well, we have established before that the implication with some of the wording is that it will be stupid people reading this, so it has to be big, bold, capital letters.
Sharp end goes into enemy. Do not put your hand...
Here, hold this. He stabs.
They did not leave in it any remains, and they did to the king of Libnah just as they had done to the king of Jericho. From Libnah, with all of Israel, he went on to Lachish. And taking positions around it, he found it to be very Lachish. And now that Terrors is sufficiently upset, and taking positions around it with his army, he besieged it. And the Lord delivered Lachish into the hands of Israel, and he seized it on the following day, and he struck it with the edge of the sword, and every soul that was in it, just as he had done to Libnah. At that time, Horam, the king of Gezer, the king of Gezer went up so that he might assist Lachish, and Joshua struck him with all his people, even unto utter annihilation. And he went from Lachish to Eglon, and he surrounded it. And then he turned it equal off. I like how Terrace just made noise so he didn't hear it, so he's slightly less upset than he would otherwise have been.
No, I'm still upset. I just, at the same time, I dropped something.
And he also defeated it on the same day. And he struck all the souls that were in it with the edge of the sword, in accord with all that he had done to Lachish. He also ascended with all of Israel from Eglon into Hebron, and he fought against it. He seized it and struck it with the edge of the sword, likewise with its king, and all the towns of that region, and all the souls that were staying in it. He did not leave any remains in it, just as he had done to Eglon, so also he did to Hebron, consuming with the sword all that he found within it. Returning from Debir, he seized it and laid waste to it, likewise with its king, and all the surrounding towns he struck with the edge of his sword. He did not leave in it any remains, Just as he had done to Hebron and Libnah and to their kings, so he did do to Debir and its king. And so Joshua struck the entire land, the mountains and the south and the plains and the descending slopes with their kings. He did not leave in it any remains, but he put to death, with one F, all that was able to breathe, just as the Lord, the skytest of Israel, had instructed him, from Kadesh Barnea as far as Gaza, with all the land of Gotham, as far as Gibeon-Plis. And all their kings and their regions he seized and destroyed with a single attack, for the Lord, the skytest of Israel, fought on his behalf. And he returned with all of Israel to the place of the encampment at Gilgal. So they just casually defeated the entire land in like 1 or 2 days. That is impressive. You know, speaking of impressive, Terrace, would you like to impress us? Okay, go ahead. The stage is yours.
Well, fuck. Did you know that if you... So, right, okay, this will require... Before I tell you this fun fact, you'll need a bit of background, right? So you know how you have, let's say, a phone, and it doesn't have any things stored on it in its memory. It weighs less than as if it had full memory. Now, it's a very, very tiny, like 0.00000 of like a gram. It's a very, very tiny amount of a difference. But it's enough of a difference to be measurable on a larger scale. So if you took the entirety of the internet, it would weigh just about as much as like a strawberry, which would be about 50 grams. Like if you took all the servers that everything on the internet is stored on, and you emptied them out and you weighed them, and then you put the internet back on and you weighed them again, it would be between 50 and maybe closer, between 50 and 80 grams, which is about the weight of your average sized, like maybe about a decent sized strawberry. That's quite a fun fact you can tell people, and I can guarantee you that when you tell people that fact, they will ask you, why do you know this? And I'm sure Skydus knows this fact.
True. I know everything that's in the Bible.
Well, you don't. I mean, I have impressed Aki. I'm on a fucking roll. Well, cat peasant. That's funny you may ask, right? Because I'm not smoking anything. I've just drunk more than appropriate amount of gin and tonic. So I'm not high as much as it may seem like I am. I'm just slightly tipsy.
You know what I like to do when I have a bottle of good gin? I take a slice of bread, I put gin on it.
No, stop. No,
and I call that gin
I don't. No, didn't want to hear.
It's German bread with ginger.
I didn't want to hear the end of it.
Gin German bread. Gingerbread. Gin. Bread. German. Gin. Bread. Ginger.
I genuinely don't know how I'm not suicidal yet.
Are you sure you genuinely don't know? Didn't you mean to say genuinely?
Okay, now I am suicidal.
Yes, Terrace is salty from the Toblerone.
No, it wasn't 0.1, right? It was like 0.27, I think. Hold on.
By the way, do you know why it's called... Do you know why it's called Toblerone?
It's 0.12.
Damn. Do you know why it's called Toblerone?
I don't want to know. Please don't tell me.
Okay, take off your headphones. Because you only get one. Otherwise, it would be a Tobler 2.
See, I still heard that because I have
know.
open back headphones.
I mean, that's not my problem. That's an issue, not an issue.
That is very unfortunate.
Well, I hope you enjoy your Tobler 1. One whole entire. Tobler?
Shut the fuck up.
Joshua 11. And when Jabin, the king of Hazor, had heard these things, he sent to Jobab, the king of Madon. Allah, dude. Who's Jobab? Who's Joe? Jobab.
What fucking what? I fucking can't.
Terrace, can you do me a favor? At the beginning of Joshua 11, there's actually a typo, and I think that might be throughout the entirety. They misspelled Madonna right here. Page 126 or page 51. What's the end? I highlighted it. They misspelled Madonna. And to the king of Shimron, and to the king of Achshaf. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. Also, to the kings of the north who were living in the mountains and in the plains opposite the southern region of Chinnaroth. Can you please do me another favor, Terrace? Can you replace Chinnaroth with double Chinnaroth? And also in the plains and the regions of Dor, besides the sea. Also to the Canaanites, from Estonian to west, and to the Amorite, and the Hittite, and the Parasite, and the Jebusite in the mountains. Also to the Hivite, who was living at the base of Hermon. Hermon. I can't do the fucking accent. I fucking can't. Hermon. In the land of Mizpah.
Her mum.
No, Mon, like the... Fuck, what's the accent even? I can't fucking... Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Jamaican accent? That's the one, I think, right? Or you say Mon instead of man, or something. I can't fucking...
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Jamaican man.
Yeah, and it's like Hermon. I just want to point out, I just read the entire thing, and there was just so much garbage listed that I have no fucking clue what even the sentence was about. It was just a list of go fuck yourself. And when Jabin, the king of Hazor, had heard these things, he sent to blah 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 blah. Okay, so basically he sent for help to all these people. And they all went forth with their troops, a people exceedingly numerous, like the sand that is on the shore of the sea. And the horses and chariots were an immense multitude. And all these kings assembled at the waters of Merom, so that they might fight against Israel. And the Lord said to Joshua, you should not fear them. The Lord is surely saying some weird things today. You should not fear them. For tomorrow, at this same hour, I will deliver all these to be wounded in the sight of Israel. You will hamstring their horses, and you will burn their chariots with fire. And Joshua and the entire army with him.
As opposed to burning them with dirt.
With words, obviously. And Joshua and the entire army with him came against them suddenly at the waters of Merom, and they rushed upon them. What are you, Terrence? Are you okay?
I'm not.
What's the problem?
I swear to God, these Bible shoes will be the end of me.
What does me have to do with this?
I just need to breathe. That's all.
Terrace, be happy that your name is not Bill, because otherwise I would be sliding these puns by a Bill every single stream. So be grateful. Be full of grating. Cheese grating. That might actually, I think with enough velocity, that might do the job, Terrace. And the Lord delivered them into the hands of Israel, and they struck them, and they pursued them as far as the great Sidon, and the waters of Misrephoth. I'm sorry, I just had a Misrephoth. The fuck is Misrephoth? I think I think they misspelled misreport. Seriously. And the field of Mizpeh, which is toward the Estonian region. He struck them all, so that nothing was left of them to remain. And he did just as the Lord had instructed him. He hamstrung their horses, and he burned their chariots with fire. And turning back, he immediately seized Hazor, and he struck down its king with the sword. For Hazor, from antiquity, held the first position among all these kingdoms. And he struck down all the souls that were staying there. He did not leave in it any remains, but he destroyed everything unto utter annihilation. And he destroyed the city itself with fire. And he seized, struck, and destroyed all the surrounding cities and their kings, just as Osmosis, the servant of Skytus, had instructed him. Holy shit, I was just about to say, are we just going to get like a play-by-play for every single city? And it's like, and he seized the city,
Yes.
he killed the king, he burned down the city. And no, it's just all the surrounding cities. Just, holy shit, the Bible's actually keeping itself short. I enjoy it.
I like how they're just literally going on a fucking rampage.
Rampage of Empires.
I'm running out of ways to express my disappointment.
Way ahead of you. And except for the cities that were on hills and in elevated places, the rest of Israel burned. Wait, what? The rest of Israel?
Just all of it burst into flames simultaneously.
But Israel are the protagonists. Why are they burning? What? Isn't Israel... Huh? Fuck this book. Only one, highly fortified Hazor, was consumed with fire. One only, highly fortified Hazor was consumed with fire. What am I reading? And except for the cities that were on hills and in elevated places, the rest of Israel burned. One only, highly fortified Hazor, was consumed with fire. So every city burned, except for the ones that were on high ground. But only one of them burned.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm so glad you're enjoying yourself.
I just added a comment to just sum this up. The sentence summed up in 2 words. And the sons of Israel divided among themselves all the plunder of these cities, and the cattle, putting to death, with 1 F, all persons. Just as the Lord had instructed his servant Osmosis, so did Osmosis instruct Joshua, and he fulfilled everything. He did not omit even 1 word out of all the commandments which the Lord had commanded Osmosis. And so Joshua seized the entire land of the mountains and of the south, and the land of Gotham, and the plains, and the western region, and the mountain of Israel, and its plains. As for the part of the mountain that ascends to Seir, as far as Baal-Gad, just go with Baal-Gad, along the plain of Lebanon, under Mount Hermon, all their kings he seized, struck down, and killed. For a long time, Joshua fought against these kings. There was not a city that was delivered itself to the sons of Israel, except the Hivites who were living at Gibeon Plus. For he seized it all in warfare. For it was the sentence of the Lord that their hearts would be hardened, and that they would fight against Israel
no.
and fall, and that they did not deserve any clemency, and that they should perish just as the Lord had commanded us Moses. The fuck is clemency? Never heard of that word before, but okay.
Now imagine not knowing basic English words.
The fuck? Okay. Well, I educated myself.
So glad you did.
In that time, Joshua went and put to death, with one F, the Anakim from the high ground.
Actually, shut up.
Okay, fine. In that time, Joshua went and put to death, with one F, the Anakim from the mountains, which are basically high ground. So fuck you, terrorists. I literally
Yeah, actually fucking cease.
from Hebron and Debir and Anab. What? Anab? The fuck is Anab? And from all the mountains of Judah and Israel, and he destroyed their cities. He did not leave any from the stock of Anakim in the land of the sons of Israel, except the cities of Gaza and Gath and Ashdod, which alone were left behind. Thus Joshua seized all the land just as the Lord spoke to us Moses, and he delivered it as a possession to the sons of Israel, according to their divisions and tribes.
So
And
they
the
finally
land
got
rested
their
from
land.
battles. Is that the promised land, or is that just some other land?
I think so. I think that's
it is. Yeah, I think you're right. It might be. And everyone clapped. Go on, Terrace.
What?
Anything you would like to add?
Well, I'd like to subtract a lot of things. Mainly a lot of the things you've said.
I'm sure they wouldn't gain subtraction.
See, this is exactly why we can't be friends anymore. I am just fucking done.